It's so sad that Cade died of ligma.
Who the hell is Cade?
Ligma balls.
So by now I'm sure you guys have seen that Tree Man short that I made the other day, and I had so much fun making a Titan without any arms that I decided to do it 3 more times. Also, I had so many freaking comments wanting me to make the little guys from Among Us, and you also wanted me to make Rayman. And as an added bonus, one of my mods told me to do the Black Knight from Monty Python and the Holy Grail.
Look, you stupid bastard, you've got no arms left. Yes, I have. Look! It's just a flesh wound.
So I thought I should try my hand at that as well. If you guys just want to skip to the one that you want to see, there will be skip links coming up on screen now. Subscribe if you like Destiny 2 fashion, and now let's get to making the little spacemen from Among Us. Okay, so the first one we're going to do is the little Among Us spaceman, because holy crap, would you guys not shut up about the fact that you can finally make an Among Us character in Destiny 2. This was by far the most requested one to make, right beside Rayman, and we'll make him here shortly also. So yes, what does it take to make an Among Us character in Destiny 2? Well, first of all, you're going to want to use the Dreambane helm, and actually we're going to be using the Carminica shader throughout the whole entire body except for the mark. For the arms, of course, we're going to be using that bugged ornament from the Couturier set. For the chest, we're going to be using the Mimatic, yes, the Mimatic Savior plate with the Carminica shader as well. For the legs, we're going to be using the Couturier joggers. That way we get like a good old baggy look to them. That way it looks like a big old astronaut suit. And for the mark, we're going to be using the Moonfang X7 mark. You can basically use any mark you want with this, as long as it's out of the way and doesn't really distract from the big old parachute pants here. And this is where we had to use a different shader. We ended up using Crucible Prestige instead of Carminica, because in Carminica's case, it would just make the belts red, but over here, this would all be black. A good alternative for the helmet that I have on, you could also use the Lost Pacific helm as well as the Jemison Knight helm. That way you can still kind of get that whole astronaut vibe going on. If you wanted to be the white version of this character, you can go ahead and use Bitter Pearl, the new Vault of Glass shader. That way you can have a nice pure white look. If you wanted to be orange, you can use Vanguard Marshall. If you wanted to be purple, I'm sure that Bruised Blush would be to your liking. And if you wanted to be blue, the Glacial Whisper shader would be the shader to use there. If you guys have any other shaders for any different colors, please leave them in the comments down below. But there you have it, one way to become Among Us sus in Destiny 2. Oh god, that really hurt to say. Don't ever make me do anything like this ever again. Okay, here we are. So one half of the comments that I was getting a lot with the tree video was that you guys wanted the Among Us little guys, and the second half was freaking Rayman, which I'm pretty surprised that you guys remember what Rayman even is. Like, he's like a really old video game character, so props to you guys for knowing who he is. But here we go. We opted to use the Lighthouse Sun with the Forbidden Visage helm. That way you can get his cool like little hair thing that he has going on here, and that way you can still get like his big old nose. I don't know, it's kind of a rough shape, right? Once again, you're going to be using the bugged Couturier arms. For the chest, you're going to use the Lux Parka alongside the Shadow Guilt shader. Just because it's the best we can do, the Titans don't have any cool like hoodies like the Hunters have, so this is all we could do. For the legs, we kept the Couturier joggers and we opted to use the Desert of Gold shader. I believe in the original post, DMesoto, I think that's how you say his name, he ended up using the Midnight Exigent shader instead of this Desert Gold. For some random reason, I don't have that shader, so we just use this instead. That way we can still give him his iconic yellow boots. And lastly, like the Among Us one, the mark doesn't matter too much, but we opted to use the Star-Crossed mark with the Shadow Guilt shader. And you can pretty much use any mark you want as long as it's out of the way, so you don't have to go out of your way to use this one specifically. And there you go, you guys finally have your little Rayman to go around punching people in the Crucible with. Link will be down below in the description to the original Reddit poster. And for my next trick, I will be attempting to make the Black Knight from Monty Python and the Holy Grail. Now, I think one of my mods ended up suggesting to do this because, of course, he ain't got no arms, and the Black Knight gets his arms cut off and his legs, but we don't have anything to cut his legs off with just yet.
Alright, we'll call it a draw.
But for the helmet and the chest, I had several options that you can do. One of the options was of course the Last Wish raid set. Every piece of that set is kind of like night inspired, and also the Reverie Dawn set from the Driven City. All of those have like a medieval aesthetic to them. But for the head, I ended up going with the Carrack Type 2, just because that helmet looked a lot older and it gave me those little like slits right there for the eyes on the knight. And the shader I ended up using was Amethyst Veil. This is the closest we're going to get to a pure black shader. It still didn't take care of the silver bits in the helmet, but hey, I'll take it. Now for the chest piece, like I said, we had lots of options for this, but in the end I decided to go with the Iron Chooge plate. And that's because of this like crest in the middle. I know that the gold is kind of in the way, but with the Crucible Carmine, we kind of blackened out the rest of the plate, and we still got that little bit of red to match the Black Knight's red sigil here in the center. For the legs, I was kind of looking for something a little bit thin, maybe close to leggings, since the knight does have on leggings underneath his like main armor pieces, and I tried to make them black. So again, I ran into the same problem that all of us run into. There is no pure black shader, and when we try to use other shaders like Amethyst Veil or something, we just end up getting like all these different results, and it just doesn't look good at all. Like for example, Shadow Guilt is a very black shader, but we still get a little bit of purple in there. Same thing goes with Amethyst Veil. We just end up getting a bunch of blue here in the sides. So that's why I had no choice and I had to use the Shrouded Stripes, just because this is the closest we're going to get to a black shader. Oh, and I didn't even mention the legs that we were using. We were using the Legs of Optimacy, just because they are very thin, and it's probably the closest that the Titans are going to get to having leggings. Which is a good thing. I don't want Titan leggings. I don't think I want to see that. I mean, the Path of the Burning Steps were like small legs to begin with. I don't want anything smaller than that. And lastly, for the mark, I decided to go with the Wing Discipline mark, just because the Black Knight does have a bunch of rips and tears in the cloth around his armor. So what better mark to use than the Wing Discipline mark from the Crucible? And for the shader, I just threw on Skelegold. That way we can get the mark as black as possible. And there you have it. That is my best attempt to make the Black Knight from the Monty Python and the Holy Grail. Leave your comments down below if you guys have any more ideas on what to use. Maybe you want to switch out the chest or the legs, or I don't know, whatever you guys think that I should switch out. Go ahead and leave that in the comments down below. Alright everybody, so that's going to be it for me. Originally I was planning to do like 5 of these, but I'm really tired from work today and I'm basically falling asleep while editing. But all of that aside, and ignore the fact that I have very low energy right now, we just hit 20 freaking thousand subscribers. Thank all of you so freaking much. We have so much momentum for the channel going right now, it's amazing. And if you guys want to help me out, go ahead and hit that like button and go ahead and subscribe if you like Destiny 2 fashion. Hopefully we can get to 25k just as fast. If you guys want to see some more meme cosplays, go ahead and click on the 2 videos waiting for you in the description down below. We have a Banana Titan and we also have a 02 Hunter. Thank you one more time for the 20k subscribers. I'm going to go ahead and fall asleep now, but Guardians, as always, stay beautiful.